What's good, everybody? It's your boy Safari Bari, and I'm here with 24/7 Live, man. Shout out to them for having me on the show, man. I'm thankful to be here.
It's a mad test.
Safari. You already know how I step in the bitch. Bitch, I be lit. Bitch, I be lit. Bitch, I be
Guess I'll check you later.
Hey, pump me this shit up real quick. Let's go. Pull up on the scene, I'm the life of the party. See me in the crowd, and I'm getting lit. Geeked up off the Henny, looking for a baddie. If she got a fatty, then she getting hit. Boy, I'm a stunner, get that from my pops. You can tell I'm a baller, just look at my fit. I didn't even pay for the bottle, the club on the know I'm legit. And bitch, I get lit.
What it do? This your boy Josh Martin, and we're back with another episode of Who's Hot. And today I got the homie with me all the way from the Jack. You know what I'm saying? He overseas right now. But he took the time to hop on the platform and chop it up with us, give us some game. Introduce yourself, homie.
Man, it's your boy Safari Bari. I go by Jabari Harris, born and raised in Jackson, Mississippi. Currently located in Norway at the moment, based in Helsinki, Finland. Man, I'm just glad to be on here, man. It's always good to connect with our people.
Already, man, we got you on here, man, because you said a bunch in your intro, but like we got you on here because you're a talented artist, man. Tell us, how did you get into the music lane?
Um, I was born into it. I grew up in the church. Mom and dad took me to the church every Sunday. I was in the youth choir. And just growing up in Jackson, I was in the choirs and the band and stuff like that. So music was always within me. But I think it was during COVID, they shut down sports, everything was closed. And it was like, what do I do now? I can't ball, I can't even go outside. I wanted to find a way to still be able to like express myself, stay busy, and just communicate with people in a way that I've never communicated before. So I just went to, like a Best Buy or whatever our version of Best Buy is over here. I bought some basic like equipment and I just started writing and recording, and it felt therapeutic. So I didn't start really taking music serious until 2019. And here I am in 2024 and I'm still doing it, man.
That's dope. That's dope. So you say you started off in the church, yeah, and you mentioned sports. So was it kind of hard, like juggling the two, like sports was sports first at one point?
Yep, because man, I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for sports. I think that because growing up in Jackson, my parents ain't have money. They wasn't blessed for me to be able to just pay out of pocket for college. So I always told myself I was gonna try to use my athletic abilities just to handle that part. And once I got to the part where I had established myself here as an athlete, I had a contract. I wanted to now like start to like express who I was. And sometimes as athletes, we don't get to do that just as athletes because we have to kind of just shell ourselves in the way that our management and our clubs want us to. But once I started doing music, I felt like that was something that allowed me to be me, beyond the surface of what people saw on the field. You go out and you play ball and that's that. But with music, people can actually hear my stories, my journeys, and they can understand who I am. So it also helped as an athlete because I felt like as an athlete, you get crucified so much about how you play. If you hot one game, they love you. If you bad one game, they hate you.
Right.
But when they start to listen to your music, they can kind of understand better how that makes you feel as a person because music allows people to feel like they know you. An athlete, they idolize you, but a musician, people become your friends. So I liked how it felt. I liked how it felt to be connected with people and to know that people connected with me because they felt like they personally knew me, not because, dang, bro, you went out there and scored 3 touchdowns. I love you this week. So that's what I love about the art of music.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I'm curious. You mentioned messages. You know what I'm saying? Battling perceptions. What did you want to get out there through your music? Like, what type of artist? Like, what type of sound are you developing?
For me, man, I love like I'm a conscious rapper. I like to rap about things that I feel like people can relate to because I personally, man, I can't rap about selling dope and doing that type of stuff because I never done it. I ain't never shot nobody. I ain't trying to. But I realize this a lot of it's a lot of young people out there, especially with me being an athlete. I always knew I had a platform. And then I had to think to myself, now that I got this attention, now that I got this platform, what is it that I'm trying to say? And so me now being a father, I got a son that's turning 5. And, I told myself, I want to say things that I would want him to hear and take heed to it. And I think that growing up, I was never into like the stuff that just bopped because it didn't make sense to me. So as an artist, I try to spread positivity, spread love, spread self-love primarily because I think that that's something that we lack, especially Black men. Like we get beat down so much by society, it's hard to see the self-love in yourself. So if you listen to some of my music from the beginning, I talked about a lot of pain because that's where I was in my life, being separated here in Europe. You don't get to see your mom and your dad every day. And I wasn't calling them and telling them what was going on. I was just out here living. I wasn't letting them know, like, I could use some fried chicken and mashed potatoes right now. I wasn't letting them know, I wish that my brothers and cousins was around still. I was just, balling and trying to make them proud. But through music, I got to let them know, like, dang, this parenting shit is hard. This long distance shit is hard.
Yeah.
And so through my music, I got to grow a little bit. You can see where I went from a dark time to now I'm like, hey, look, I went through what I went through. I battled that darkness. Now I want to spread the light because this is what more people need. With everything that's transpired in the world, man, we done went through so many pandemics. We going through recessions. And all we want to talk about is killing the next person that look at us wrong. Like, I'm just like, man, when we going to get out of that?
Right. I get hip hop is in an interesting spot right now. The thing that I've been seeing lately is, it's popular or cool per se, what I'm saying, to go at each other or to beef, what I'm saying? So, that's interesting, for somebody to, to attack the game in a different way. I love music, all different genres, not just hip hop.
Yeah.
So my ears to everything. And I'm curious, you mentioned, fatherhood. Are these the seeds that you're going to sow into your son? Like, if he does decide to, choose hip hop or sports, like, will you be there, what I'm saying, to support him?
Absolutely, man. Like my son, he started soccer today, man, and I'm proud of him because it's like he's already going his own way. For me, football, basketball, that stuff was life. That's what we grew up in the South. And,
Yeah.
my son out here trying to be the next Ronaldo. But it's like I want him to understand that regardless of what he does, because man, listen, I'm a big DaBaby fan. So, since he was born, we boom, 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 we bumping the bass. But then as they grow up, kids start to reflect. So when they go into school and they saying some of this stuff, that's when it hit me like, oh, this is what I'm introducing,
Yeah.
And I try to teach them that it's okay when you at home to have your vibe. It's okay. Like everything's not for everybody. Because as an athlete, man, if I play some of my playlists, man, I got country in there. I got hip hop. I got R&B. I got soul. It's a lot of combination of things because I feel like when you're a person that just loves music, you don't get stuck in one genre, man. You love everything that sounds good and that feels good. And that's just kind of what I'm trying to teach him and trying to spread, like, do the things that are right, because if it's right, it's going to feel right. It was times where I was making songs and I didn't even want to put them out because I'm like, oh, this don't even feel like me.
Right. Yeah, look, J. Cole over there. I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, I'm curious, man. You are overseas. Black culture, like, what are some of the some of the differences, I'm sorry, between like American Black culture and where you are now? Because I'm pretty sure, you can put me on game, and now I'm pretty sure you and your son are probably one of the few, darker faces around there. So I'm just curious, like how is the cultures? How is it different?
It's different because here you get very few African Americans, but we do get a lot of Africans here because a lot of Africans, they migrate to Europe for better opportunities. So when I first came, it was a shock because that's when I realized that even us as African Americans and fully grown Africans, the ones that were raised there, we divided. Because they understand us differently and we understand them differently. And I think that's when it hit me that the media plays a big part in what we think and what we know. Because here, they were introduced to Afrobeat probably before hip hop. So you'll go out to a lot of places in this, and they got the Afrobeat going.
Yeah.
I ain't really got into it yet, but as far as hip hop and as far as R&B, man, they love it. So music is spread on this side of the world as it would over there. But I think that they don't have trap. They don't have like, you will very meet somebody that heard a Lil Boosie, Young Dog,
Yeah.
and if you meet the people that know that, you be like, yeah, you hung around an American or you dated an American, because ain't no way possible you've been exposed to that unless the person that's introduced you to that comes from that culture. So I think that me being here, that was the first thing I noticed was I'm different. And depending on how I go about it, I can impact how they see other people like me. So me being from Mississippi, I always had a chip on my shoulder because everywhere I went in college, I went to school in Oklahoma. And when I'm saying I'm from Mississippi, everybody just assumed the worst. Oh, you country, you slow, you dumb, you don't know nothing. So when I came over here, it was that same mindset that I have to represent where I'm from in a positive way. So the way I talk, the way I dress, even the way I handle controversy, I have to do it in a way to where people don't just think, oh, guys from Mississippi, they ain't got it all, man. Like, we talented. It's a lot of talent that come out of Jackson. There's a lot of talent that's come out of Mississippi. We just have to promote it in the positive way.
Facts, facts. I definitely agree with you on that because like I'm from the SIP, so that chip. I believe that everybody is from Mississippi automatically like is born with a chip on their shoulder. It's like
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying. Like we always feel as though we counted out, and oftentimes that is what help us like succeed because it's like something inside of us. Like you can't break that Mississippi mud. Like we everywhere. Like you in Norway right now, so yeah. So that
Yeah.
that's dope. But yeah, back to your music, man. I'm curious, like the journey, the transition from sports to music, coming from the SIP to overseas. Is that reflected in your music? That shock, that change. Is that reflected in your songs?
Absolutely, because I realized that in the beginning, a lot of things and the style that I presented in the beginning, they couldn't understand it. It's hard for people to relate to you when they've never been through what you've been through. So I kind of had to, like, in a way, learn how to diversify how I wanted to deliver my music so that it could reach everybody. But I still wanted to make sure that I kept who I was in my music. So sometimes you'll hear me harmonize, sometimes you'll hear me flow, sometimes I just kind of just step out of my element a little bit because people here have a different taste. And as an artist, you always got to kind of evolve if you want to be able to not only spread your music internationally, but because I permanently live here, this is my natural home base for music. So if I want to do a show, if I want people to give me an opportunity, I got to have things that they enjoy as well. So that's why I think now my catalog is very like diversified, but I still kind of stay within the elements of what I can do. I never get up there and try to play a guitar because I can't play guitar. That's not
Right,
my thing.
right.
And I'm not gonna get up there and try to, do music in their language because I don't know it. But I do a lot of research and I kind of see what's popular in our culture. You'd be surprised, man. You go out, you'll hear a lot of Tupac still. You hear people that listen to NWA. People are now Big X the Plug is trending out here right now. So like
It's
now I'm
wild.
realizing like, yeah, bro, we us from the South, we stepping out there, man. Cause I was at a game last week and I heard Big X the Plug, and I'm like, mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, that's what's up, bro. You ever coming back? I'm curious. You ever coming back to the States?
Yeah, usually, man, I like to come and visit for the holidays, because I'm full-time based doing sports and
Mm,
coaching and still doing music. It's hard to like see how I want to move back. I think what changed it for me was when Trump got in office and things started to get a little wild. I had to think about, dang, am I ready to expose my kids to all this? And
Right.
like, I love coming to Mississippi though, man. Like my children, I bought them there like 3 times and they love it. My daughter, she spent the summer in Jackson, and I think that that's how they get their culture. I never want to take that away from them because it's very important. I believe because I was raised in Jackson that it allowed me to go anywhere in the world and know that I'm gonna be all right, man. Because if you can sustain and do well coming from Mississippi, man, I don't feel like it's any place in the world that you can go and not be prepared.
Facts, facts. I told you, it's like it's ingrained in us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious though. You're doing well now. You may not be where you want to be as far as success. Well, I don't know because success is different, from person to person. But where I'm getting to is, do you think it's important to when you reach a certain level, you know what I'm saying, that you're obligated to give back in some form or fashion? With you, I believe that you have a easier path because you have your son. Just say for somebody like me who doesn't have any children, do you think like once I reach a certain level, as black men, once we reach a certain level, are we obligated, to give back, give game, or it's not necessarily a money thing, but
Right.
is there something that all of us should be doing?
Absolutely, man. I think what I've learned on my journey is, man, the best thing that we can give is the knowledge. Some people, they always count pockets, so they feel like, oh, you get a deal or you blow up that you got to give money back to somebody. But realistically, I grew up in the church, and like I said, and there's a scripture that says, if you teach a man to fish, he'll never go hungry again. It didn't say give a man to fish. I
Right.
think that when we get to a certain level, that just means we've gotten to a level to where people will listen to us. We've become at a point where people will take what we say seriously. If I just try to mask my message with money and material things, I'm not really helping. It could be easy to come back and say, oh, I invested into the YMCA. We all know that's a tax write-off for a wealthy person. So am I really giving back, or am I taking care of myself still? But if when I see one of my favorite rappers now is a West Coast rapper named La Russell. He's still independent. But what I see him do, he's in the community. He's in the community. He's doing shows in his backyard. He's allowing people to come on his page and post their music. None of that has anything to do with giving money. And I think that that's what we can give back. We can give opportunities, like even you bringing me on this show is giving back because you're using your platform to allow me, who's still, I feel, young in my career, get an opportunity to get some exposure. So I feel like you're already on the path of doing the right thing. Like I love podcasts because if you've noticed, podcasts has become something that us as brothers, we starting to dominate, man. We starting to get on here and we're really starting to elevate our social presence. But all we doing is talking. And this is what black people do all day. You go to your cousin's house, you go to your grandma's house, and you
Barbershop.
talk. Yeah. So now we doing this on the stream, and people are like, dang, this what we've been missing in them households?
Right.
Yes.
Before we slide, bro, what's next? You know what I'm saying? What can we see? Like, where can we see your name? I know you mentioned your coaching. Like, are y'all gonna, win a championship? Like, or you know what I'm saying? Or is the album coming soon? Like, just put us on game on what's next. Like, what can we expect from you?
Man, like, yep, right now I'm in the middle of a season. We 3-0, we the number one
That's what's
team. So I'm proud.
up.
I'm very proud. It's always hard coaching and playing because as a player, you feel like when you get the rock in your hand, you can make a difference. But I think now this is molding me up to be better because I have to pour knowledge into players. And whatever I pour into them, if I do a good job, it'll reflect in the team's performance. So right now I'm feeling good because, I can't go out there and play. Like I've decided that I want to take a step back and let the next generation show what they can do. And at times in the game, I'm like, you know what if I can and I'm just like, let me be patient and let me educate. As far as music, man, I'm always working. I think that balancing my music schedule between sports is the difficult part in the summer. But what I've been doing is, man, I've been doing a lot of social media content, you know, putting here things here and there. Also, just sampling and seeing what it is that I need to try to grow in. Because one thing about music is like sports, you can always elevate, even when you get older. Like LeBron right now, LeBron almost 40 and he's still elevating. So I feel like for me, I can still learn better ways to deliver my message. I can learn right now. I'm learning more of music theory because that's something that I never thought was important. You listen to some of your favorite rappers and stuff, and you like, that sounds good, and you don't even know what they did.
Yeah.
So now I'm trying to understand what it is that the Kendrick Lamars, the J. Coles, the Drakes, these type of guys are doing, and how can I incorporate that into what I can do? And I'm excited about it, man. I'm excited about seeing myself as a student of music versus being a musician. I think that I'm still a student because I haven't arrived to where I feel like I can go. But I think that if I keep soaking everything in and keep practicing, I got a lot of potential.
That's what's up, bro. We definitely gonna, you know what I'm saying, be on the lookout for you over here at 24/7. Just give us your social handles, man. Where can we find you? Where can we keep up with the team? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just put us on game, like where the people can find you.
You can find me at Safari Bari _1. That's my handle for every social media network. My team is called the Christian Sand Gladiators. We out here in Norway. We playing in the elite division, so it's the highest. Like I said, right now, we the number one team in the league. I'm hyped.
Yeah, that's what's up. What position did you play right quick? What position you played?
Man, I was a quarterback, man. I was a big Cam Newton fan. So a lot of people say, yeah, that looked like your cousin. And that was big for me to, that's why I came here because I felt like in Europe, they didn't have the stigma of me being a black quarterback at that time. I came out high school 2019, and that was still a time where it was still like, oh, if you big, you fast, and you black, you need to play a skill position.
Right.
But over here, it was like, yo, this is unseen. We want more of this. So I stuck with it, and I'm glad I followed my heart, bro.
That's what's up, man. And like I said, I'm rooting for you. We rooting for you. And yeah, man, it's been dope, man. I appreciate you for hopping on with us today. And yeah, man, like it's been cool.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate you for having me, man. Keep doing what you're doing. And I'll make sure, man, when we done with this, bro, I'm gonna make sure I shout you out. And I hope to see you at the top soon, brother.
Already, man. You too, bro.